Hello guys, welcome, SimUK here, and I'm going to tell you about 10 things that I think are missing from SnowRunner. Now, some of them definitely need to be implemented. Some of them are a little bit out there, and I've probably not thought of a few things as well. So if you've got any ideas or suggestions, please let me know in the comments below. I'd be very interested to read them, and possibly the developers might even take a look and who knows, they might implement one or two of these suggestions. So let's get started. The first thing missing from SnowRunner, and this is quite a significant thing, is AI helpers. We've all played Farm Sim, I'm sure most of us have anyway, and even that game doesn't have it, but we can download these mods that allow us to get AI helpers to follow me, drive here to this location, or even return to base. That one change alone would dramatically transform this game into something way more realistic, and I think that should definitely be implemented. Thing number 2, hardcore mode. Now, I'm a hardcore player. I don't even send my trucks back to the garage to get repaired for free. I drag them there by tooth and nail through the mud and the water and the sinew and the swear words. Yeah, I do the whole thing, and it takes ages, and I love it. But I think there should be a proper full-on hardcore mode where the option to send a vehicle back to the garage and have it repaired and refueled for free is simply not there. I would really like to see it expand. I mean, I would like to see there be an economic model introduced so that bankruptcy becomes a thing. I would like to see permadeath become a thing. Yes, there is much I would like to add to this game in a hardcore mode. But I definitely think there should be a hardcore mode, even if it isn't as hardcore as I am. I think it should still be far more hardcore than it currently is. Now, number 3 is something that I desperately wanted to see in the first one, and it is primarily the reason why I never played the first one. That and the awful UI, which is now quite a bit better. But it's head tracking. They have spent so much time and effort really making the cabins look realistic, and they're all unique, and I really like them. They're brilliant. The mirrors are fantastic, but there's no head tracking. So I really can't drive in first-person view, certainly not when I'm using my wheel. It's appalling. And by the way, I'm not going to put wheel support in this list because, I mean, that's so obvious. It doesn't even warrant being here. But head tracking most definitely needs to be included. And if they wanted to chuck VR support in there as well, I wouldn't complain. I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. Character animation. Now, right now you're thinking, what the hell are you talking about, Sim? I am talking about, well, basically this is like an extension to hardcore mode. Not only would I like the game to be more realistic and hardcore, I would love the ability to be able to get out of your car, change a tyre, yes, change a tyre, walk about. If you roll your car and you can't get it upright again, I would love the idea that you can't hot swap between vehicles and you have to get out, swim across the river and walk all the way back to base to get another truck to come and get it. Imagine how pissed off you're going to be if you do that and halfway there you roll the second truck. Now, that's really quite funny and hilarious, but I actually did this, and because I'm playing in hardcore mode, well, as much as I can within the limits of the current game, I did have to hot swap to a third vehicle. But imagine if you had to walk, you would be so angry, wouldn't you? You'd also be a lot more careful on the third route, but that's just my idea. Again, I suppose you could argue this is an extension on the hardcore mode thing. Maybe I've struggled to get 10 things. This is probably more like 5, I apologise. But I would like to see a far more realistic business and economic system. I would like to see you have to pay for fuel. I would like to see you have to pay to have vehicles repaired, stuff like that. I don't like this, press a button, it goes back to the garage and it's mint condition again. I don't like it at all. It's a really hard game with a really easy get out of jail card. It just upsets me. Multi-chain connections. Now this is something that I think should be applied both to single player and multiplayer. Let's say you're playing multiplayer and somebody is really stuck. If you put 2 chains on them, then you should theoretically be able to get them out a lot easier than if you're just doing it with one car, especially if one person's got a heavier vehicle and you've only got a lighter vehicle. You've got very little chance of getting them out. But if you've got 2 lighter vehicles against a heavy vehicle, you've actually got a very good chance of getting them out. And I think this is something that definitely needs to be implemented. Now in single player mode, if we had AI helpers, this would be amazing. But even with just ourselves, why can't I park 2 vehicles, use one as an anchor and one to pull? As soon as you get out of a vehicle, it detaches all of the winches and stuff, and it shouldn't happen that way. You should be able to put more than one winch on a vehicle. I mean, why not have the ability to have 2 winches, and then you could winch yourself, attach yourself to a tree and use that as your anchor, and then you're the middle part, and then you're pulling whoever out of the water with the front part. These are all very sensible, very logical ideas, and I can't believe nobody suggested it. I just think they've been too lazy to implement it. Definitely needs to be added. Massive thumbs up for that one. Realistic chassis model damaging. At the moment, if you bang or bump the front of your car, you would expect the headlight to be maybe smashed and damaged, and visually it does look like that's happening, but it also damages the engine inside the car, and I think that's a disappointing limitation. You should at least have some sort of outer shell body damage system where it's protecting the internals. I mean, even 1 or 2 bangs before it starts destroying the engine. I just think a realistic chassis damage model needs to be included in the game as it is right now. Connected maps. I like the fact that we've got a mission that starts on map A and finishes on map X, Y or Z. That's really cool. What isn't cool is that you have to drive up to the tunnel and then teleport to the new map. I really don't like that at all. Why not, and here's a good suggestion, right? Why not, because it only takes a little while to load that map. It doesn't take a huge amount of time. So why not just have a really long tunnel that connects the two and let us just drive through it and load the game on the other side, and when it's finished loading we can come out the other side. That way you could do it on any system, any PC, because it just needs to keep us in the tunnel for a certain amount of time until the map has loaded. That's all that's going to happen, and I think that's a fantastic idea, and I really wish they'd implement it. Now this one's a little bit out there. I threw it in and I thought, no, that's ridiculous, that won't work. And then I thought about it and I thought, well, no, actually it kind of does work. In fact, it works really well. So number 9 is air support. And already you're going, well, that doesn't work, which is exactly what I thought. But it does work. If you're out in the middle of nowhere and you run out of fuel, wouldn't it be great if you could phone up air support and they helicopter in some fuel for you? Now, obviously, you're going to have to pay for that. But just having a helicopter fly in, hover over the top of you and drop off some fuel that you can then fuel the car up with, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wouldn't that be brilliant? I also think the fuel consumption thing needs to be looked at. I think it's a little bit excessive at the moment. But hey, yeah, helicopters bringing in fuel. How cool would that be? Or even parts. Something like that. But very expensive. You know, like 6, 7 grand, 3, 5, 12 grand, I don't know, a number somewhere between 3 and 12 I think would be fair. Now this final one is a very serious one and most definitely needs to be included in the game. If they don't include this in the game, then, you know, I would really be very cross with them, because this is such a stupid decision in the first place. Multiple profiles. I mean, it's crazy to say, you know, you've been playing on this profile for 69 hours, 60, why did that number jump into my head? 69 hours you've been playing on this profile, and yeah, you want to go and join somebody else who's only just started out and you want to help them through. But yeah, well, if you want to do that, they're either going to have to come and play on your fully completed game, or you're going to have to go and, you know, ditch it all and start again from fresh. Neither of those options are particularly good. We need to have multiple profiles. We need to be able to have at least 4 save game profiles so that we can have different games in different states, even different, especially if they introduce something like hardcore mode. Then you can have a hardcore mode version, and then you can have the normal version, then you can have a multiplayer version, and then you could have a messing around and trying stuff out version. Come on, guys. It's such a basic thing in this day and age. It needs to be done. And although I said it, I wasn't going to mention it, I am number 11, proper controller key binding support, because at the moment it's an absolute shambles and you should be ashamed of yourselves. This game is not ready for release, and the fact that you released it at full price and then went out and paid loads of YouTubers to give fake reviews, scumbags. But luckily for you, I really like this game. I think it's incredible. Even though there are so many things about it that I hate, and I think there's so many things that could be better, I still think it's an incredible game and I'm really enjoying playing it. I just think these 10 things are missing. Now, I'm interested. What things do you think are missing? And do you agree with what I've said, or do you think I'm just talking complete rubbish? I mean, it's probably the second one, but hey, just let me know in the comments section. Hit that thumbs up button. Maybe the developers will come and take a look and implement 1 or 2 or 11 of these top 10 things. Maybe they'll implement some of your suggestions and none of mine. Doesn't matter, as long as the game gets better, and I really hope it does. Thanks for watching, guys. I've prowled on for far too long. Enjoy the game, and yeah, like, subscribe, share. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, and speak to you soon. Bye for now.